Welcome to the next episode of KapVista Klips. Today I have Chris from Titel with me, and we're going to talk all things prop tech and about his solution. Hi, Chris. How are you?
All right, good. Thanks. Thank you for having me.
That's okay. So we'll jump straight in, and I really want to understand, what's your story? How did you get to this point? What did you do in your career, and how did you get to founding Titel?
How far back do you want me to go? Well, most of my life I've been in sales. Probably in the mid-90s, I went back and did applied science and computing and been in the industry since then. Been involved in two public listed companies, one of them being the first .com listing in Australia, Liberty One. So I've been involved for quite a few years in the game, dealing with both corporates, large governments, and even SMEs.
Awesome.
So that's my background in software development, solutions development.
Okay, and then what drove you to founding Titel? What was the aha moment? What was the catalyst?
Yeah, good question. So I've got a digital agency, and one of the vertical markets that we have is property. So we do a lot of what we call lead generation or marketing for property developers, builders, agents, land developers, a whole range of them. And when you talk to your clients, you're always trying to work out the best solutions to what they want to achieve. Obviously lead generation, but what are the pain points? Mm-hmm. And it was consistent different pain points throughout the whole industry. So I started documenting it. Don't know why, I started documenting it. And through that development of documenting it and came up with solution of Titel.
Awesome. So, yeah. I mean, that gives us a good understanding of how you found your way into, the property prop tech industry, and then that computer science and, that IT background. Tell us about the solution, putting my customer's hat on, walk me through, how does it work?
Okay. Well, there's several hats, depending on the angle. So it's what I would call a true marketplace. It allows for developers to come onto the system and utilize it. It allows real estate agents to come on board, builders, and even the general public. So depending on the hat that you've got, it will have a different journey. So a good example of one hat, it could be a land developer. So a land developer could put all these blocks of land on our system with commissions and a whole range of specifications around those blocks. A builder could then put up his designs. Mm-hmm. What our system does, it does pattern matching. So we'll say this particular design fits on this particular land, and off it goes, creates a house land package dynamically. So then whether it's a real estate agent selling those blocks or designs, or it's a builder or a land developer, they could then instantly create a package with a whole bunch of business processes associated with it.
Okay, awesome.
Even from putting deposits into trust accounts.
Oh, wow. So it's the end-to-end, solution.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's got document management, so you can do your contracts through it.
Perfect. So tell me about the team behind it.
The team. Okay, the first person that came on the team was one of my clients who we sat down with over a cup of coffee complaining about all the processes and issues. So we sat down and he goes, Chris, this is a great idea, let's invest. So the first person was Paul, who was a builder. Mm-hmm. And consequently, then I started bringing on a team around me that I've known in the industry for decades. Okay. So my development team, I've been developing projects with them for 15 years or so, if not longer. Same with the marketing team. So we're a team that knows how to work together and understands the industry.
Yep, perfect. All right. So your ideal clients would be builders, real estate agents, property developers, and the general public. How do you go about connecting them? How do you go about like the issue with all marketplaces is how do you get people on the marketplace?
Yep, that's a great call. So a good example, we've gone to quite a few so the larger organisations, let's say a large builder. The large builder would say, Chris, this is great. We can put all our blocks of land or our designs up. I'm going to bring my network across. So then they'll bring on their marketers and their real estate agents and so forth to plug in, because they could white label it and then incorporate through their processes. So effectively what it creates, it's their own network effect. So I won't know all the people on the platform. If one person comes on it, he automatically brings on their network, which is amazing. So one client will say, I'll bring in my 5 agents. Those 5 agents all of a sudden are our clients without even knowing who they are.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So where do you see Titel going in the next few years? You know, what's the evolution of the market?
Yeah. Our first instance is to bed it down and make sure that it works as it should within industry. So Australia will be our test case marketplace. Once we've got that bedded down, we're taking international. We've already got interest in several countries to bring it across.
Okay, perfect. And what are those countries?
The US, Malaysia, Dubai, a few countries in Europe. So it's quite exciting.
So do those countries have a similar, framework and market to Australia, or is there much that you need to tweak to be able to adapt to those markets?
Yeah. They are different to Australia. Good example, the US, you'll have a buyer and a seller. Mm-hmm. With our system, it actually already does that. So you can be the seller, upload the property on the system, and then you can have off market. So if an agent jumps on the system and can see it, they can sell it. So all of a sudden you've got the buyer and agency working together.
So you can connect the buyer's agent to a property on the platform, or if you're you're looking to sell a property yourself, you can bypass the agent, the need for an agent.
Both. Both. So it gives you the option to select agencies. You can have it off market, on market.
Yeah. And
it also allows you to do agency to agency.
Okay. So do you need specific licenses to say into the US market? Or are you partnering with the real estate agent or the agency utilizing their license?
With their license. We're just a dating agency.
Okay. Perfect. So tell us the milestones you've hit to get to this point. What have you achieved, in terms of partnerships, key hires, revenue, anything like that? What can you give us a bit of an update on the milestones?
So we haven't gone to market yet. The product's about 95% built. Okay. The only one component that we're wanting to finish is probably one of the largest real estate agents in the world said, we want this component and we're coming on board.
Yep.
So, yes, we'll build it. So we're ready to go to market, but we thought, no, we need to finalize this component and we'll pick up one of the largest real estate agents in the world.
Wow.
And they want to put all their new builds on our system. Okay. And resales.
Are they US based?
International.
Oh,
your head office is US, but they're international.
Okay, so that can sort of be your entry into these additional markets through these agents.
Correct.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. So, I mean, the property industry, in my opinion, is ripe for disruption. You are positioning yourself as a way to be that conduit between full disruption and still working with the agents. I think in terms of real estate agents, they need to change their model to adapt to the changing times, and using Titel is a way that they can transition to a full-on autonomous selling process. So I like what you're doing there. But tell me, in your opinion, where do you see the market going?
You're right. Probably the property market, real estate industry is probably the last frontier for digital that needs to step up. And I think COVID itself helped escalate that process where people are becoming more tech savvy, if that's the right word, and which helps us, which is great. So the industry itself is now looking at using technologies to improve their processes and sales, both in the marketing sense and processes. And we touch on both.
Yeah. So in what you do, it's a prop tech play, but it's also a marketplace. It's also fintech, and in some cases can be, a legal tech or a reg tech, because you're touching on a number of different industries. So I think what you're doing is quite smart, because you're providing a holistic approach to the end-to-end transaction, whether it be direct sales, whether it be property development. Which is very interesting, because I don't think anybody has sort of discovered that. There's a lot of digital brokers who are out there. There's a lot of people who are trying to make the purchasing of property easier and more streamlined, but they're still facing those traditional bottlenecks when dealing with either trying to find a property directly through a property developer or through an agent. There's still those bottlenecks. So I think what you're doing is quite smart.
Yeah, thank you. And it was probably because we sat down with industry silos and talked to them. What were their pain points? Yeah. And once you start understanding their pain points, and look, the solution wasn't easy to build, but now that we've built the actual business processes within the marketplace, and we can just add on things now quite easily.
Yeah. And what's the feedback you've got from the industry players? The real estate agents are trying to sell more property, and the agencies are trying to sell more property. They're trying to be as streamlined as possible and reduce overhead. So, I'd say if you've got the largest real estate group in the world looking to partner with you and come on board, but what is the feedback been from, say, property developers or builders?
Oh, hurry up and finish. It's actually the exact words. Yeah. So, because it does a couple of things. It actually increases their opportunities. Yeah. So can you imagine, and for real estate agents too, because at the moment there's limited stock, for example. So when we present to an agency and they say, oh, there's not a lot of stock in the marketplace, and I say, well, if you jump on our platform, you white label it under your brand, anything you can see that comes through your channels, you can sell with commissions. Mm. Oh, and you can see your commission, so you know exactly what you're going to get. It also allows you to do offers and acceptance to the process. So you can put an offer in if you like. So it gives you that.
So you're opening up a whole new market. Traditionally, when you would go to a real estate agent, you, as a buyer, you would only be able to buy what they had in their inventory, and you had to go to different agents. Now, if you go to a real estate agent, they can show you what they've got signed on, but they can also then have a look at what other agents, maybe on the other side of the city, is selling, to open up their books per se, and have a bigger range of inventory and potentially make that commission.
Correct, because as you might know, some agencies will split commissions. Yeah. So our system allows for that.
Okay, perfect. So getting into the good part, tell me about the raise. How much are you raising? What's it being used for? What is on offer, and what momentum have you had so far?
So we're raising 2 million. This is the first we've just gone to market. It's been self-funded by Paul and myself up to date. And this is just to complete the final stage of the platform and then start hiring staff. Okay. Hiring staff, going out to market the platform. So your traditional businesses, so marketing and employing staff.
Yeah. So you're raising 2 million. You've only opened up the raise recently. Do you, without naming any names, but do you have any agreements in place with that large real estate firm that you'd be happy to share privately with investors who are interested?
Yeah, we've actually got. in writing, probably about just over $5 million worth of revenue.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
On the platform.
Yep.
In writing.
Yep.
And I'm happy to disclose which agencies are happy to.
Yep. Perfect. That's exciting.
Yeah. So we've got a very healthy pipeline.
Yeah. So any investors who are looking at this, you know, obviously you can share it with them in private, but you have a healthy pipeline of revenue waiting for the last piece of the puzzle and then launch, which is really exciting. And for a pre-launch startup, that is not common. So you're ahead of the trend. Okay, awesome. I think you know that's you know, a really good opportunity. As I said, the prop tech industry is ripe for disruption. It's why there is a lot of interest in the prop tech space from investors, because they see the writing on the wall as well. And I dare say that any investor who is investing into startups, they would have part of their portfolio as in properties. They would have been through the process, so they wouldn't understand all the pain points you were experiencing, which you know, if you can solve those issues for, you know, ordinary investors, you're going to attract the likes of the larger funds who can see that as well. So I'm excited to see where you go from here, and you know, the team at KapVista and I want to you know, support you and connect you with people in our audience, and any of the viewers who are watching this video and want to know more. You know, I'm happy to make a direct introduction to Chris and his team, so he can go through the opportunity with you. But we'll leave it there, and you know, we'll finish up. But thank you very much, Chris, for jumping on this episode with us. I'll put our links down the bottom to connect you to the investors who are interested in having a conversation.
Great, thank you very much.
Perfect. Okay, well, thanks for that. And it's good to chat.
Pleasure. Thank you.